Hey guys, my name is Legado and welcome to a tutorial on Skript. Now, Skript is a very cool plugin, as you can see here, and it allows you to make plugin-like files for your Minecraft Bukkit server. And the cool thing about Skript is that it is actually a very simplified scripting language which will allow you to make anything within Minecraft with zero knowledge of scripting at all. And as you make these files, you will actually get a fairly good understanding of how scripting works. I noticed myself that after playing around with Skript a little bit, that I managed to make some simple stuff in Java and C# as well. So let's start off. What is scripting exactly? It may be a bit redundant to talk about it, but I really think it is good if you do know the absolute basics. So to start off, scripting is the act of giving your computer a set of instructions on how to run a program. You could see it as just explaining to your computer what your application has to do. So for example, once this program starts up, I want you to show the user this text, and if they click on this button, I want you to do this. The same applies to Minecraft. Like you say, once a player enters the command /ban, I want you to check if they have the appropriate permission, if they enter the correct arguments, and if it all checks out, I want you to ban the player from the server and send these messages to these players, etc. So that is basically scripting. You just explain to your computer or your Minecraft server what the general procedure of everything is. So I'm gonna assume that you know the absolute basics of running a Bukkit or Spigot server. So you're gonna head to this page, the script page on Bukkit, and I'll link to it in the description of this video. You're just gonna download the plugin, and once you're done with that, you just put it in your plugins folder right here. Now, you may see that I have 4 plugins over here. Now don't worry, we're only going to cover this script.jar. The others are script add-ons, which you might need at some point in the future as you do more cool stuff with script. So for now, we're just going to put script.jar into our plugins folder and run the server, so it creates this folder here, in which you will find 2 folders, the backups folder and the scripts folder, as well as some other files. I'm not going to touch the configuration really, because this is something that you should go through yourself. And then there's the variables.csv, which is a file in which all the variables of your server will be stored, and we'll cover that in the next tutorial. We're not going to focus on variables too much now, because we need to take this slowly so you can understand, because this is aimed at the people with absolutely no scripting knowledge whatsoever. So we're going to go into the scripts folder here, and you can see that I have a clearchat.sk, and this is just to clear my own chats as I'm going here, because I will be typing out multiple examples, and every time I do so, it is pretty nice if you can clear your own chat so you get just the messages of that particular command that you just wrote. So to make a script, inside your scripts folder, you're going to make a new text document, and there's 2 very important things here. Firstly, you do not want to enter a file name that starts with a hyphen or a dash. You just don't do that. Anything that starts with this character will be ignored by Skript. So if you want to disable certain scripts on your server, you just prefix it with a hyphen and you're done. The script will not run. And I'll actually show you a few examples in here. These are all prefixed with a hyphen, and these are just examples that were written by the author of the script plugin. You can look around, but I don't know. You should be able to pick everything up from this tutorial pretty easily. But yeah, if you need some examples and you want to activate them, for example, let's use the killcounter.sk. You simply remove the hyphen, and now the script is active. I'm going to go ahead and disable that again because we don't need it. Just go back to the scripts folder. So now you'll first want to have a file name, which is going to be hello, and then comes the important part. You're going to name it .sk, okay? The file extension has to be sk. So go ahead and do that, and then we can open it up. Now I use Notepad++ for this. You can use a regular Notepad that comes with Windows. I don't recommend you do so because, well, everyone's gonna hate it, right? So yeah, I'll also link to Notepad++, and it'll become apparent why I use Notepad++, because you can actually use syntax highlighting in here. So all of my code will be colored very nicely so you can see exactly what's going on. It really helps with writing, because as soon as you make like a spelling error in one of your expressions, you will see that it is not highlighted properly, and you know that you probably made a mistake over there. So yeah, let's start off. And we're going to make a hello world command, because hello world is something you do in every single tutorial for any scripting language, and this applies to script as well. So let's start off with hello world, and all this is going to do is print out the text hello world in our chat once we run this command. So the command is going to be /hello, and every single command starts like this. You type the command, so in this case command hello, and then below you can enter some stuff such as the permission that you need. So you could, for example, make the permission hello.use. You could say usable by players, or you can say players and console. So yeah, you can read about those on SK Unity, to which I will link as well. SK Unity is a site which has a shitload of help for script. So once you've done that, you're going to jump to the next line and you're going to indent. You can use spaces, but it's so much easier to just use a tab, so go ahead and do that. You hit the tab and you press trigger, and anything that's going to be below the keyword trigger is what will actually run once the command is entered. So really, any code below the trigger part is pretty much what will trigger upon using the command. Fairly simple. So now we're just going to say send hello world to player, and that's a command pretty much. So as soon as someone enters hello, we're going to send hello world to player. This player part here refers to the command sender, and the text here, make sure it's between quotation marks because it's a string. More on that later, but yeah, between quotation marks you say hello world, and this is really all it is. So we're going to go ahead and save the file and enter Minecraft. Set the time to 0. This is all on the local server. Now let's go over the commands that script has, because you need to know this obviously. So the first thing you want to do is like SK, and you will see the uses. You can reload the config, all scripts, everything, or a specific script over here. Enable and disable scripts, update it, or even print out help. So once we do SK reload, you can either say SK reload all, you can say SK reload hello.sk or SK reload hello. So if you type all, it's just going to reload all the scripts that you have written, the config file, everything. Now we don't need that. We're just going to do reload hello.sk. So it says successfully reloaded SK, and I'll actually show you that if we enter a bunch of weird stuff, we're going to say ham, bacon, cheese, hello world to player. My script will obviously not run, so we're going to say sk reload hello.sk. Now encountered one error on line 3, and well, that shows you the line number in which you had your error. So we can see here line 3, it doesn't recognize ham, bacon, cheese, so we're going to send that, we're going to change that to send again. Make sure you save it obviously. So sk reload. You can also omit the file extension, so just sk reload hello, that will work just fine, as you can see. And now if we're going to type /hello, you can see it prints out hello to the screen. So that's pretty cool. You just wrote your first command, and it doesn't really have any permissions set up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to enter a permission, and that's going to be hello.use. Save it, and reload it. So now if we use hello, you can see we can still use it, right? But what if I de-opt myself, and I write /hello? It says you do not have the required permission to use this command. And something really cool is you can even say permission message, which will be you do not have access to this command, noob. Save it. sk reload hello. Oh, now I can't do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and opt myself. No, I don't even need to. I can just reload it from the console, obviously. So now, once I type hello, you do not have access to this command, noob. So you can change the actual permission message that you're sent if you want to make admin-only commands. So you can actually write your own triggers for banning commands and add your own permissions, and then you can use a permissions plugin such as, well, what's out there? Permissions X, Group Manager, you name it. Or you can just go ahead and do what I did and write your entire permissions management yourself. If you know how to work with Skript, then go ahead and do that. So now we know how to make a simple text command, right? We can make our own help menu for the servers, like command /help, and we could say trigger, and we could say send help to player, and commands, well, we only have /hello player, and now that we're adding our own, we can say that there's /help and /hello on the server. So, wow, can't type today. So, yeah, you already know now how to write commands that just have a text output, which is pretty cool. You can do a lot of stuff with that. But there's more, because I want to talk about the percent signs next. We're going to make a simple calculator that can only add. So we're going to make a command /add, and it's going to take two arguments, right? It's going to take two numbers. So you're going to write add number and number. It's going to have no permissions. It's just going to have a trigger. Now, what I did here is we said add number number. We could also make them optional, in which you put square brackets around them. You could say add player and number. In this case, it's going to take a player argument. It can be text, it could be mob, item. You can look up the types on the site SK Unity, which I showed, or I'm going to show in the description. So you just look at types, and basically any of these types you can use as an argument. But in this case, we're just going to use numbers. So trigger. And then we're just going to send a message again. Make sure your indentation is right. If we do it like this, it will not run, because, look, there's two tabs after the trigger part, so that's not going to work. This wouldn't work because it's a parent-child hierarchy, so we have the command, tab, and then trigger, and then we're going to do two tabs because this part is a child trigger. So make sure you do that right. And now we can simply say, look at this. We would usually do arg1 plus arg2 equals, and then something, right? We're going to say, well, let's say you entered 5 plus 5, it would be 10. This is obviously not what we want. So let me just show you. Go ahead and opt myself real quick, so I can do this from in-game. Let's see, clear the chat, /sk reload hello, and now we're going to do /add 5 5, and you will see add arg1 plus arg2 equals 10. Now this is not very advanced because I already wrote the 10 in there, so it didn't even perform the calculation itself, and it just prints out arg1 plus arg2. Now look what happens when I enter percent signs around it. Now these percent signs are sort of escapes, and once you have this within a string, anything between the 2% signs will be actually read by the script and it will be passed correctly. So now, because we have it between percent signs, it's actually going to look at arg1, which refers to this part over here, and arg2 is going to be this part. So we're going to do it again. Now we're going to do /add 6 and 8. Now you can, well, I probably didn't save it. Nope, I didn't. So reload that and clear the screen to make everything nice and clear. So we're going to do 10 plus 19, right? And now you can see that it actually says 10 plus 19 equals 10. But we still have this 10 here. And the cool part of that is that we can actually even do this. arg1 plus arg2. And because they're numbers, you can add them up. You can actually do mathematics with them. So go ahead and, my bad, I really can't use my PC today. I apologize for that. /sk reload hello. And now we're going to do add 10 and 10. And now you can see 10 plus 10 equals 20. And basically, you see this player here and here. Now, we can even add another message. Learn some maths. Player. And see that I put it between percent signs again, because I don't want it to print out the word player. I actually want it to look up what this player means, who the player is to player. So that's also very important. Within this string over here, we use it between percent signs because it's not actually part of the message. I want the server to perform an action here. I want it to look up who this player is. Whereas here, in this part, it's not between the quotation marks. So you can just write it like that. Save that. And we're going to say sk reload hello. Clear the chat again. Now, look what happens as I do 5 plus 13. It's going to be 18. And it says, learn some maths, Legado. So it looked up what the player's name is. So that should help you out a whole lot, because you can actually look at these arguments here, and well, that way we could actually make something. Yeah, we could make anything with this basically. For instance, if you wanted to get really advanced, you could do /message player. We're going to enter some text, and then you could just say PM sent to arg2. No, wait, that would be argument 1. Argument 1 is a player, and the second argument is going to be the text, so that's going to be arg2. Player, and then send PM from player arg2 to arg1. sk reload hello. Oh, the 4 errors. Wait. And that is because I didn't have a colon here. You need to have the colon over here, otherwise it will not run. So now it should work, right? Did I not save it again? I did not save it. I'm a bonehead. sk reload hello. And we're gonna clear the chat again. So now watch as I type msg legado hello. PM sends to Legado hello. PM from Legado hello. Now obviously, I don't have anyone on this server to test this out with, so I'm just gonna send the PM to myself. But you can actually see that you can do a whole lot with scripts. And in the next episode, in the next tutorial, I'm actually going to look at variables. And variables are a very cool thing, which once you see what they're for, you are probably going to think, how did I ever manage to do any scripting without them? Variables are very important, so we're definitely going to cover that. But for now,